All right. Good evening, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? Exciting overview we have coming tonight. Gonna give everybody just a few minutes here and we'll get started. Let me go ahead and hop in on the Discord here. What's up, everybody? A little bit earlier tonight. What's up? What's up, everybody? Yeah, Aiden. I can do that. I was gonna make a TikTok about it, but yeah. In fact, we're gonna use a little bit of it tonight to go over earnings. So, yeah, man. I'll give you an update on that. All right.
Now, let's see if we can work a little magic with all this noise.
I can't believe that happened. So...
Ooh. Can you guys hear that by chance? You shouldn't, but... What's up, Yazir? Adiblaham. Should hit me up, man. We should talk. Slide in my DMs, Yazir. Oh, Lord. Here we go. 1 second, guys. All right. Thanks for the support, Yasser. It has, man. I feel like you've been gone, dude. The way I had these made it look like I was balding. Maybe I am balding. It's about that time. All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. All right. Let's go ahead. And we're going to keep it relatively short. I think we're really going to want to focus on earnings. And of course, guys, we're not done yet. We have more earnings tomorrow, just some of the more bigger names that we're used to hearing: Google, Amazon, Google, Apple. Those guys, they reported earnings today. So we're going to go over a few different numbers. Good evening, or good evening, Tommy. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but I didn't mean to assume your geography or your time zone. All right, let me pull this screen up. Okay, so right off the bat, let's see here. Real quick, I just want to pull this up really quick, and then I'm going to share one of the people. Somebody asked me about the Benzinga screener, and I'm going to share with you guys that as I've been exploring it a little bit too. So, alrighty. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up this webpage. Alrighty, everybody. So, earnings today, guys. AMD, Apple, Starbucks, Microsoft, Google, QuantumScape, a couple of those big ones. Those are the ones I'm going to be focused on primarily. The other ones are not really of interest to me, but we'll go over some of the numbers there. Also, I don't know if Atlas is going to join us tonight. I'll tag him in the Discord, but if he is, I'm on or Georgie, I am on Discord, so you guys will come through. Let me know if you hop on though, so that way I can turn off the underlying music. Alrighty, so right off the bat, big earnings beat for a bunch of different companies. But to go over the day, all of our major indexes fell. We talked about that last night, how the day before earnings there could be a lot of volatility and maybe not in our favor, as we did see a lot of stocks run into brick walls before our yesterday, the start of the week. So right off the bat, utility sectors was the only one that was actually up today, 1.72, but the Dow dipped only about 24%. The rest of them almost tumbling around, NASDAQ around 1.21%, Russell 1.13%, and then the S&P 0.47%. So nice little pullbacks here. But going over, we're just gonna. I'm not really going over anything over, but earnings here. So Starbucks reported a profit and revenue beat thanks to the scores of coffeegoers returning to its locations. The EPS earnings per share was $1, $1.01 versus the 78-cent estimate. Revenue was $7.5 billion, up 78% year over year. Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson said Starbucks delivery record performance in third quarter, demonstrating powerful momentum beyond recovery. Our ability to move with speed and agility and be out in front of the shifting customer behavior has helped further differentiate Starbucks, positioning us well for this moment. Starbucks sank 3% after hours. Anyway, AMD beat top and bottom lines, growing revenue nearly 100% year over year. Crazy. And of course, we're probably going to have to fight them down to the 70s. Who knows? Anyway, EPS was around 63 cents per share. Earnings per share was around 54 cents, versus the expected 54%. Hold on, Atlas. Let me make sure that you're turned up. Alrighty. All right.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Not too bad. Just getting a couple of things done. You going through some earnings reports?
Yes, sir. Just dropping AMDs right here. One of the ones that actually held up after hours. They were up. Revenue was 3.85 billion, dude. 99% year over year.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's wild.
And you get 0.5%.
I mean, dude, it's like, can you talk about just outperforming?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and crazy. Yeah, let's see here.
How'd the chart react? I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Yeah.
I'm watching your stream on Discord, but it's just trading views all I see, so I'm not sure if I'm supposed to see anything else.
No, I don't have anything else, but look,
Okay.
I actually move the chart here because I'm streaming differently. Yeah, so AMD, Microsoft. Oh, that's the time frame.
So AMD like chopped, which was interesting, but still ended up like up overall.
I think,
So-
yeah, it's pretty funny. This is what every stock did going up to earnings. It ran up, touching its support line, just to gut check you, and then really heavily consolidated, and then today, quick pop in the morning, and then just immediately shorted. So yeah, it was pretty rough on AMD because a lot of things were moving. The AMD got to move from 93 to 94 before reversing and then going all the way to 89, and then bouncing back after hours to 93.56. So it still rejected the previous support turn resistance. So that's going to be what AMD is going to have to battle with, for sure. So.
100%. And Google's movement in after hours was really interesting as well with their beat. It just ripped and then pulled back and consolidated. Volume was decent.
Do you think whales just dumped it on them immediately? I mean, do you think that?
I think market makers are holding it, man. I think that's what's going on. I think market makers are holding. If you look at the after hours movement on a bunch of stocks that had ER today, if they did well, you notice that big rip, pull back, trade sideways.
Yeah.
Like it's all the same. So I think I'm very skeptical of how tomorrow's price action is going to be. I think tomorrow is going to be interesting.
It was a bit choppy last time. It was we got like a lot of fake outs, and then we didn't have the variable of the Fed meeting there. So
right, and Powell speaks tomorrow, right?
He does, yes.
Yeah.
I'll get that calendar update here soon. So
yeah. So if he speaks tomorrow, then I get why market makers would hold the market hold the stock back.
Well, I mean that, and I mean this is my theory, just my thoughts.
Yeah,
there is with Apple. If you look at the way the Apple's, and we'll get back to the rest of the earnings here, but if you look at how Apple moved previously, it ran from the last earnings choppy. I mean, it dumped. Excuse me. All the way down to support. A lot of heavy buys on support, buying it, letting it fall. It hit support 3 times. I remember we all looked at the chart and we were like, "This thing it has to bounce or it's going to 90." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was so bad. That's when all the whales were grabbing up shares, 125, all that area. And then you get that strong pop. This thing has moved now to 150 and recovered back over pre-split. Yeah, I think that it was inevitable that retail, seeing that this is just amazing, is going to go just slap the ask, and then you get people who may know, and this is just my theory, okay, it could be going conspiracy here, but people may know what Powell is going to talk about. People may know that the market could pull back. You know what I mean? Like the Nancys and the people who hold large floats. So if this is the leg down, I mean, I do think that we're going to pull back on stocks like Apple. I mean, it literally played right out of that double top. And then plus with earnings, you see that pullback. But
So I think tomorrow is going to be interesting because if he brings up like the service industry, so Biden and the White House released a tweet today, or released a headline, and I think it was tweeted by a couple news outlets, and it said, "Economy not fazed by the Delta variant." So if he comes out and he preaches the same thing, then I'm gonna assume that he's still holding firm on wanting to taper.
yeah.
But if he says like, we still need to feel this thing out because we don't know what the Delta variant is going to do, and he kind of leaves it up in the air, I think at that point you're going to see a little pullback and then a rally in certain stocks.
Yeah, if he leaves out just the right amount of information, but just says the right stuff, then yeah, I think. I mean, the market wants to go up, but this is the thing. In my gut, I can't. I mean, I want to see Apple at 160, but I just don't know how. And if it does, if it gets to 160, I'll eat my boot. But I can't. I don't know. So, real quick, those of you on YouTube, can you hear Atlas? Okay.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
It's
I know there's like a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, usually there's a delay. Oh, that made it worse. Whoops. Okay, cool. Carson says yes.
Okay, awesome. So one thing, dude, and this is all about perspective. And maybe the other day and sometimes like the simplest things will put things into perspective for you, right? Like the smallest little thing that you sometimes just don't think about. So I went back to like 1960s on the Dow Jones. Okay, and you're probably wondering, like, why are you wasting your time going back to the Dow Jones in the 1960s on the daily? I went back on the weekly because I wasn't going to scroll that far back.
Right.
On the daily. So I made it as if like the 1970s or something was like a certain. I grabbed it to where like the end of the chart was like just a straight line up, and then like I zoomed back out and brought more years into perspective and added like 10 years and 20 years, and I kept looking at it that way, and I'm like, this is what we're seeing now, but as like the market continues to trend up, that these little uptrends and some of the corrections that just end up always looking so minuscule in the long term, and even like in the 5 to like 6 year time span. So like I agree with you 100% wholeheartedly here that like the market in general does need a decent little pullback, right? If we look at Spce as a whole, we had a decent little pullback on the 19th. And that was great, but I honestly wanted a little bit more consolidation. I would have been happy if we had a week
And I hate to say it, and people are gonna like, what a week of choppiness, like you don't want, I don't want to trade chop. Yeah, people don't want to trade chop. But if you have like a week of chop, and then a movement to 440, I mean, that'd be perfect. That would be great because to me that's great market structure.
The climb that we did on Spy, I don't think is great market structure, and I think it puts you at risk for another pullback. And you know, like not to gloat, but what have I been saying since the beginning of July? Spy 440 by the end of the month. But do I think we're gonna stay above 440 for a while? I mean, we closed below it today, obviously. Do I think we're gonna stay above 440 in August? No, I don't think so. I think we're gonna chop through August, but August is typically a slower month. People vacation, especially a majority of traders vacation in August. But this August and last August are not your normal trading Augusts. You know, they're definitely different. So we might not see a pullback. We could see a run up, but I think the more we continue to see a climb up, especially on Apple, on Facebook, on Amazon, on all these big tech names, and some of them deserve that valuation, you know, to an extent.
Of course. I mean, you look at, if you look at Apple, I mean,
Right.
and just based off of, you could look at this in several different forms. Like you could look at the daily obvious double top. You could look at the hourly or even the 4 hour and see a perfect rising wedge that just breaks down like textbook. I mean, if you guys look in this bottom or top right hand corner of my screen, hopefully you have the right screen up on YouTube.
Yeah, I can see it right now.
No,
well,
on YouTube. Yeah, no, okay, cool. Yeah, they can see it on YouTube. So let's see here. Bottom marker scaring me from picking up more. Yeah, let's see here. Let me go back to my chart. I have like 6 tabs open right now. I've gone full ADHD. But anyway, right now, I mean, it's nearing major moving averages. Right now, I'm thinking 143.85 is our first pit stop, then the chop. Then we could potentially see that chop.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look back. I mean, last earnings for for Apple, of course, they did okay. I think there was some speculation as far as production with the iPhones and materials sourcing and stuff like that, but they still made more money with their their Apple iPod, whatever the ear things, the buds,
AirPods.
I felt old there. That was wow. The thing, the AirPods. If those can make more money than what most in a quarter, what most companies generate in a year, that's ridiculous. So like this company is people pleaser. People love their products. They could put out like a dog leash and somehow sell it for $500. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But you get 100%. You get my gist.
No, I agree with you 100% there, man. Apple knows how to. They know how to market.
Yeah,
they know how to market, and they do a great job of it. I mean, their boxes, like the amount of time they spend designing just a box, is wild to me.
I mean, think. I don't know. What would maybe you want to whip out your calendar for me? If you bought 1 million shares at 125 of Apple. Let's say 125 on Apple. This is probably easy math.
1 million shares,
right?
1 million at 125.
Yeah. Someone in the YouTube's gonna be like, ping.
So it's $125 million.
Right. Yeah. So in after hours here, you decided to dump them, or you decided at 150, to dump them. What would your profit be there?
So if you dump them at 150. And you sold or you bought them at 125, you have that 25 million.
Yeah, the market, it's gonna pull back. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. I maybe did you do 1 million shares? Did I say?
1 million shares, not $1 million.
Okay, well let's look at it from like that perspective. But still, I mean, even if you had 1 million shares, like that's a ridiculous amount of shares. But
100%.
But regardless, I think you would still be well within profits And within the climate that we're in, why wouldn't it make sense to take some profits off the table, which would cause a little bit of profit taking, and then the cycle ensues. Right now, I would say, like, I'm just gonna go to the daily here. Like right now I have my 20-day EMA at 143.75, and then looking back, you can see kind of that consolidation that we got before we gapped up. And then below that, you have the bottom of what the double top, would be, which would be that 142 mark. So I think ultimately we could see ourselves with a comfortable, or even just a healthy correction back down to 140 and 135. And I mean, with a catalyst, maybe we go a little bit further. Powell says something off the wall, then maybe we go further. I can't predict that, but just with steady correction, I could see Apple pulling back. But anyway, before we go too deep into the earnings, let me just cover UPS's earnings really quickly. There's the last one kind of on the list, and then I'll finish the news. Or not just it, but Microsoft, Alphabet as well. I wanted to go over them so that way we can cover there's a lot. We have a lot. I hope you can hop on tomorrow, dude, because we have even more. It's literally
I can
double the earnings. Cool.
I should be able to.
Yeah. So. Anyway, so Alphabet saw revenue jump 62% year over year to 61.88 billion. Alphabet pretty much destroyed expectations with ad revenue, and let me go here and pull this up for you guys. Oh, sorry. Those are you guys on this stream. There we go. So, but anyway, there looks like Alphabet's destroyed expectations with ad revenue. Ad represented $50.44 billion, 81.5% of Alphabet's reported. That is insane. That's crazy.
That's so much money.
That's so much money. Do you guys see that number? Look, I know you can't see it, but if you look on YouTube, dude, like that is ridiculous. Like, what?
It's a ton of money, man.
There's so many numbers, dude. Like, most people
so
get like
money.
most people have like these numbers.
It's wild. Like, and the funny thing is, like, all they're doing is like constantly expanding. So I got fiber installed the other day at my house. I got rid of the internet service provider that I had because they were trash. And like, I'm already noticing that the ads that I'm getting on my phone, like whether I'm on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, whatever platform I am on, have now been tweaked. Right? I have Google Fiber. The only difference is that it's changed in the past week is that I've switched to Google Fiber. That's it. So now, now Google gets all my traffic.
Yeah.
And talk about like catering perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's interesting, man. It's interesting. I mean, they're gonna forever always be integrated into your life, and they're doing a better job at providing that. Go ahead.
Until PLTR buys them.
Exactly, as
Kathy.
Aunt Kathy would say. Until PLTR buys them out.
That could come true, bro. She is good.
Dude, if PLTR becomes bigger than Google,
data is king, dude. So data rules
it is
everything.
100%. It's the one thing that we did not see years ago, that it would be a commodity, and it is truly a commodity. So valuable.
Dude, my son lost his first tooth today. And he just like walked in the room and he was like, I ate my tooth. I was like, oh no.
My parents used to tell me that if you accidentally swallowed your teeth, you were going to grow a teeth inside your stomach.
That's
and I had nightmares for days.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Fun times.
the fun.
No tooth fairy there.
Yeah. What kind of fairy is that?
Right?
Yeah, sorry. Whoa, Dim. Do you see what Dim said in the chat, dude? I just read what Dim said. Sheesh.
She bought 114 shares today, or sold 114 shares?
She is 114 shares of Apple, dude.
Oh.
She has become one with the shares. Look at her. Look, that's her logo. Like that's her. It's always been. In fact, wasn't it a different color? It was just a plain apple at one point, and then she.
I think it
upgraded.
was a plain apple.
Yeah.
I think it was a plain apple at one point, and now
She's-
it's Georgie's on. I didn't realize
Yeah.
Georgie was on.
Yeah, you just hopped on here.
What's up, Georgie?
You don't even say good morning, good evening, good morning.
Bro, I didn't see you were on.
You were speaking about the stomach in your teeth.
Oh god.
The
Oh,
Bro,
gosh.
blame my parents for that nightmare. Okay.
That's funny.
yeah, I just realized there's no. I need to go to the airport like in 2 hours. It's not worth it to sleep. So I said I'll just join you.
All right,
Toughing it out, man.
you guys ready? I'm gonna go ahead and break off because by popular demand, everybody wants to see Benzinga Pro, and I've been trying it out. Yeah, it's worth it.
It's cool, yeah.
It's cool. I like it. So let's see here. Is it easier to just log in or to just switch my screen over? Hold on. It is, yeah. Hold on a second. I don't know if it's gonna ask me for my password, so don't hack me. Oh, look at that. Thanks. Super clutch. All right, so really, you don't have to. You really don't have to do much, but here's how I have mine set up. I actually don't use this screener very often at all. Let's see. I have a multitude of different workspaces here. Hold on. Okay, so I usually don't have the chat open, and what I like to have is price spikes, option activity, block trades. Block trades in pre-market are essential to pay attention to. The morning that I told people that I saw a massive block trade on X, it shot up like it's crazy. It was nuts, and it was a nice block trade right there in the morning. So it's really good to see halts and resume as stocks resume trading. That's amazing because even if it halts once, it could still have some juice left in it, and I love juice. Open gaps, so you get nice gap up plays. Coin actually was on a gap up this morning, or I think it was yesterday morning whenever Bitcoin ran up, and then I made plans to short it. And then you have highs, and I will have session highs. You can have day high series, 52-week highs. So a stock, I think you can click all of them. Yeah. So you can literally load them, right? So as stocks hit new 52 weeks high, it's really, really cool. If you're a bear, slide in the lows. Obviously, if you have ADHD like me, you can keep all of these clicked and just lose it. I'm just kidding. Newsfeed, which is obviously essential, and is one of the things that I think I watch the most, and it's probably the most essential part. If you go back and watch any video of any traders back in the day, all of them were trying to get the news first by any means necessary. And now we're blessed to have this where, there's some people paying 20, and I have seen comparisons. The news gets in here fast. And I mean fast, like fast, Walter fast, you know what I mean? Having the news there, and then my scanner. So this right here is the movers. You can change it to anything you want, but you have the mover scanner, and basically you can change it over the last 5 minutes. You can change the market cap. You can, and I have mine, you know, like I changed my market cap. Actually, I don't think I wanted that high. Then you have, you know, obviously price, etc., and it does it every 5 minutes. It updates every 10 seconds. But as you get massive spikes in volume and big spikes in price, this one will trigger the movement. Now, how do I identify whether, because there's a shit ton here, right? Well, let's take a look. Now, not every time it's going to work out, but right here, there's 11 million shares being traded with average volume of 103,000, right? That's probably going to catch my eye. Nautilus, you know, not really showing anything, 67K, but it did make a price spike. So usually I look for those kinds of signs of strength where maybe even if it's just a tad abnormal, I'll watch it. And then in combination, I'll also have the day high series. If I see something like BTBT, which obviously ripped after hours a little bit, you know, if it makes continuous, like, you know, if it makes those, I know that I can go ahead and take a look at it. And that's the beautiful thing about having the scanner, the news, and movers is, yes, there's actually a lot of websites that do the individual thing, right? You have like scans, and then you have, you know, like this one that may give you like price, you know, high of day scanner. This is just a good way to combine them all without blowing your pockets out. And low key, we just partnered with TradingView, and I may be so bold to try and see if we can. Why do I think that he did? He does because his friend told me that he does.
What?
Nothing. Somebody on YouTube asked a question.
Oh, okay.
Bro, how fricked am I with ZOM? Oh god. The fact that you says fricked, now I have to look at it. I'll write that down. But anyway, but yeah, so I mean, I use this, and let me also say this. There is Flow Algo, which has its own algorithm that finds stocks based or high probability options based off of, you know, an algorithm they built, and it'll look a little bit different. So being able to this scanner is useless if you don't know what you're looking for. If you don't know, you know, like if you're like for pennies, right? For people who want to scout pennies, that's why I tried this out, and so far it gives you the news and price. And I think that I've been really able to kind of like siphon through which stocks are actually going to move and which ones are just seeing like. Because, you know, you have those, like, after-hours, not super liquid stocks that just randomly gap up, like, $2 and then go right back down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who knows what's going on there? But usually they'll have very little volume. But when I see news come in, and then I see and usually at that point I'm already looking at it, but then I see it pop up on the movers, then, you know, I'm going to end up taking a second look at it. So, but anyway, yeah, that's how I use it anyway for them. I'm still exploring it. There's a lot more to see as far as, you know, valuation, financials. I mean, they have a screener for financials. I mean, that's pretty cool. So if you're more of a TA or not TA, FA, right? That sounds weird to say. It reminds me of it just reminds me of FFA. One day he's gonna blow
What,
that
Future
count up.
Farmers of America?
Yeah, I don't know why. Can you use Flow Algo for swing trades, or is it only good for yeah, if you guys want to hop on the YouTube, it literally, I'm talking to TikTok here, guys, not just my desk, but right here I can answer those questions. Can I use Flow Algo for swing trades? Yes, but the thing is you have to be able to understand whether or not it's a hedge. That's not confirmation. I know a lot of people who blow accounts just by taking big flow trades. We know somebody who took remember what was Skim somethings? I forgot his name.
Not Skim Master, but Skimmer.
Skimmer guy. Way
Yeah.
back, like a year and a half ago, this guy ran as a not in our group, but in somebody else's group. We caught the side view of him basically taking every golden sweep and every AI that came in and YOLOing, I think, pretty much into everything, and then one day he just disappeared. He was gone.
Burned his entire account.
I mean, I shouldn't even laugh. I actually, as soon as I shouldn't laugh, but I think everybody warned him, and I think that unfortunately, the longer that the euphoria train lasts, the worse trading is going to get for you, and that sounds counterintuitive, but euphoria is we've talked about this a million times in our Discord, but it's just it's a double-edged sword, if you and I think I explain it in a way where it's like, everything we do, you build new reward systems in your brain, and that teaches you how to continue to do something seeking a reward, and if especially something like making your yearly salary in a month, or in a day, like that, you can't, it feels great, but it feels really bad when you can't figure out why your YOLO that you did this time is now got all of those YOLOs you performed are now, it just ate the dust. But anyway, okay guys, so let me let me finish up here. So Alphabet did great. Apple guys, also they bested. Did I already go over Apple? I don't think I did.
I think you talked about the chart.
I did talk about the chart. Yeah, we were talking about just the market in general. So Apple, they bested analyst estimates as well, with revenue rising 36% year over year to $81.4 billion. iPhone revenue soared 50% this quarter, pulling in about around 39.57 billion. I am one of those numbers somewhere in there. 48.6. That phone is expensive as shit, my guys. I think it was like what, like $1,300 or something like that for the newest one. But the camera's sick though. Service revenue represented 17.48 billion, 21.4% of Apple's report, and hardware and assorted product sales made up for the remainder. 48% of the revenue was iPhone, so that's crazy. And then service revenue was 17, so that's pretty sick. So they pretty much snapped on earnings. Microsoft revenue 20% year over year to 46.15 billion. The company's intelligent cloud pulled in 17.38 billion, which represented 37.6 of revenue. Productivity and business processes pulled 14.69 billion, 31.8%, and personal computing comprised of 14.9%. Google.
What's gonna be interesting to watch with Microsoft is that their cloud computing start to grow in their next earnings. If you see that percentage jump up, then they're gonna start taking some market share from Mr. Bezos at Amazon, and that's where it's gonna be a real neck and neck competition, because cloud computing is huge money, and a lot of people, up until like a couple years ago, Amazon did not make any money off of what they sold online. They barely broke even. Their money maker was cloud computing. And people didn't know. People didn't even know that Amazon did cloud computing. So keep Microsoft on watch for those cloud computing numbers.
Yeah. So that way Bezos can ride another big PP into this space. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
No.
All right, so I got UPS, Square. I know you guys wanted me to take a look at some charts. There's somebody on here. I'm just writing these down, guys, so that way I don't forget them. ZOM. How fricked am I? It's so funny. Not that, but okay. So anyway, I don't know if anybody saw Microsoft in after hours. Your boy has been holding a Microsoft $300 call for a while now. But I played Microsoft so much this last run up that I'm pretty good. And it's funny enough, if you go and look at the chart, you guys can't see that one.
Diamond hands.
Huh?
Diamond hands.
Diamond hands. Yeah, you know, long expirations make my hands hard. Pause. Yeah.
As long as it doesn't turn into paper, it's okay.
Yeah, as long as they don't turn into paper. I thought I made the best joke today in the chat to paper hands. I was like, if you get better at holding, do your hands become paper mache? And
I saw that.
just nobody said anything. Oh my god. What's up? Alrighty, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close out that one right there. You guys kind of got the gist. Let's see here. Close out that browser. There we go. Alrighty, so my watch list is actually going to be consistent of Microsoft as a starter. This one in after hours was kind of interesting here. I'm lining up my support and resistance right now. Let me clean this chart up a little bit. Now, granted, this is the 5 minute, but this support that we were holding here, holding off of these lows, it looks like in after hours, after we broke it today, retested it in after hours, shot up, totally wicked down, retested our major support, and then bounced right back up and held. So we're right around that right underneath that 190 level. And I've literally been saying this on TradingView, on YouTube. I made my first video on Microsoft, I think back in May, maybe, on this run. But if that $300 target wants to get hit, then it has to hold 280 and at this point 283.50 range in order to stay in trend. If it doesn't, then I think the weight of what potentially, if Apple ends up falling, if we just see a pullback after earnings, then maybe we see continuation. But anyway, I am watching Microsoft tomorrow. It still is holding this daily, and I'm actually going to move my chart over here. So if you take a look at this, this was what I was most interested in here. You did have this little reversal candle set up here, but it did hold on top of that whole ribbon indicator, that momentum indicator. And it has been holding that linear deviation line. So it could be in store for some consolidation here. But I'll ditch this one off my playlist. It's mostly on my watch list because I still have a $300 call that I've been holding for 2 weeks. So, all right, I think it is worth Disney. So basically, Disney did exactly what the hell we wanted it to do after hours. Disney actually, and towards the end of the day. I know some people caught the dip on Disney. Now, the gap is what I wanted to get filled on Disney. But once the gap got filled, I was looking for 181. And so 181.25 is my target for Disney tomorrow. If it went crazy and wicked up, maybe 182. But I think that 181, and I'll be watching for that target tomorrow. If not, then I'm not going to look to play this one to the downside at all. It's too close to having a inside setup here where it could easily bounce and reverse on me. So if it ends up bouncing tomorrow or pulling back, I know where my support is. It's at 177.75. If it bounces off 177.75, I might watch for another bounce and re-entry around 178.82. But And then Roblox. So today we actually swung. I don't know if you saw that signal. We swung $78 calls. I was able to, it wicked up, hit 78.21, took profit on the swing, and then I know a lot of you guys ended up taking this one to the downside for some sweet bucks. I had a couple DMs about this one, so yeah, that one was a really nice play to the downside. And I'm actually, I'm excited. I'm pumped because if the market rolls up, check out this pattern. What, dude? Am I a full nerd when I get excited about charts? Is it over
No, I
with now?
mean, that looks like a great pattern to break out, man. And you
Even
got
if it's there.
you got a nice level there to hit first too. So
Yeah, so I was waiting for this level to get hit. It bounced. Look at the bounce. Look at the way it ends that day. Right back up onto that support and that IPO breakout level. Like right back up into that range. So we tap support tomorrow. Now the one thing I don't like the whole ribbon indicator. So that means we could continue to consolidate. You know, it might not be done yet. We could see another leg down tomorrow, or just chop like you were talking about, because we have so many earnings. And if you guys don't believe me, I don't know why I almost sounded Canadian there for a second. Let's see here. So tomorrow, Facebook, Boeing, Ford, Tilray, Shop, PayPal, Pfizer, QCOM, Spot, McDonald's, Save. I've done this before. Vail, iRobot, Now, ServiceNow, Deutsche Bank. I'm trying to pick out Lending Club, Align Tech. I'm sure there's ones. Cameo Corp. There's just an ass. I think there's around 200. Oh, never mind. It's right here. 264 companies are reporting tomorrow. 313 companies are reporting on Thursday. And if you guys want to go look back at the chart, it is always super ugly. Everyone gets super pumped for this week, and I think we had this conversation last year, right? And like November time frame, we were like, why do we get so excited? Like, why do people get so excited about earnings when all of the movement, it doesn't move during the day and it just moves all at night? You know what I mean?
all at night, yeah.
And the only things that do move, like right now you have China FUD. And if you guys haven't looked at the Bidu setup right now, and honestly at this point, just for the tendies, I want China to clear some stuff up. That would be super sweet, and let it be, because could you look at this chart on Baidu? Can you imagine playing this, bro? I'm
surprised Bidu V-shaped like that today. Wow.
Yeah, it held, and I think it's it's got that megaphone, that descending megaphone, which I think is, for the most part can be bullish, but if it can still end up being bilateral, or where if it rejects here, it's got a whole other floor to die. You know what I mean? So, which would be surprising.
I really want Baba to drop another $20 because I'm gonna buy it up.
Hey.
Sorry, sorry, George.
Yo, so right here. I'm on there. My YouTube is free. How do you? Is it not? Yes, it is. I didn't know you could charge for YouTubes.
You can.
How?
I don't think you can charge. I think you can get people would have to pay to write a comment or something like that. I'm not sure how it works.
What it is?
YouTube, I think there's a way where you can if you want to charge people per comment. I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, you can add the super chat. It's called super chat.
Yeah.
Nah.
Super chat. Look for that super chat.
No.
When they pay for that things, it just pop up highlighted.
I think I remember I saw one guy who was he was talking about real estate, and he was charging $5 per comment. I was like, that's insane.
Sheesh.
Charge
I don't
$5
think
for
I could morally do that, dude. Maybe
right.
maybe the hustle isn't as strong as I thought it was. I just I can't do it.
No, I think that's
so what?
I think that's a little excessive to charge $5 per comment. That's
Sounds it's like damn near communism. Communism.
Yeah,
You actually don't charge the people. It's kind of set up there by YouTube. So you
Oh.
choose which one.
Oh, okay, got you. That makes interesting. So YouTube is the decide the prices is what you're saying, Georgie?
YouTube. So they have like kind of like as example for 99 cents, 1.99, but
Mm-hmm.
Um, how does the market do in June and July? That's a good question. I mean, looking back last year, 2020, June, or July, excuse me, we ended up melting up for a while with low volume and then finally catching a little, well, this was actually just straight feds. Straight up federal. It got rated, dude. Look at this chart right here. Look at the volume. Who pumped that? Unless they just let retail do that. But like, and then what was
that
this was
really
Biden's
bad.
this was Trump's no vaccine or no no stimulus tweet. Tom. Or no, it might have been this one. But yeah, not
I don't
great.
remember, but I remember
Not great.
One of those tweets I was in NVIDIA calls and I got roasted in a tweet. Literally got roasted. It was the same day you got roasted. We were all in NVIDIA calls.
I lost a lot of dollar bucks.
Dude, I cut those things instantly.
I was shopping at the grocery store and
I called you.
You know, yeah. And as I grabbed for an orange juice that cost $3.99, I lost 13 grand.
Yeah. I called you and I was like, bro, sell.
Okay. I mean, that's the shit you can't predict, but I got gut
He
punch.
literally tweeted something and I remember NVIDIA dropped like, it was almost like 20 points in one candle.
Yeah, dude, it was rough.
It was rough.
It was one of those days.
That's why I use the protection.
Yeah, I was real bullish there, Georgie. I was riding the Trump tweets.
Yeah, we pretty much bought calls when Trump tweeted. That's what we were. That was like our. It's so stupid, dude. When he tweeted, it was like literally we would just be like, "All right, what do we buy?" Like,
Yeah, he would tweet something bullish, and you would just like try to look for sympathies of whatever he was bullish on. He'd get in calls, and he would make money. But I remember that day. It was like the second day after he had gotten out of the hospital. And he was on steroids. Like they gave him some type of
anti-inflammatory. Oh, dude, he was so happy.
He was yeah. Let's just say it was not the most.
I think he was just tweeting from the hip, I guess you could say.
It's off the roids.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so S&P right now. I mean, if you look at the, I don't know, we're close, man. I mean, right now, we've talked about and honestly, guys, we didn't end bearishly. I mean, if you look at the chart, like on the daily for SPY, we ended, I mean, with a hammer top, but the bounce off of that whole ribbon indicator was pretty strong. So I mean, like the sell and I will say though the volume was relatively high, but in my opinion, and it's probably important to go look at the 4 hour and see whether or not the volume came in more towards the end of the day, and it was more dip buyers. So I'll be curious to see, and I think that anywhere around 440, if we start to reclaim 440, then we might see SPY move up. And if you look at this support line, right? So this support line has been broken a couple times and gapped down below, but that's kind of where we pulled back to today as well. So I'll be watching this one or watching SPY, and with all of, I don't know, dude, like I have a hard time putting my thumb on anything during earnings because like you could say anything and it just gets totally reversed on, but all right.
Yeah. Earnings is tough, man. I mean, playing earnings in general is, unless you know something, right?
Unless you know something.
Or you've worked with the company personally and you've heard a sales rep say, yeah, we're blowing sales out of the water, right? Something like that. Like, remember a few earnings, I think it was sometime last year, like when Docu was just absolutely going insane.
Yeah.
I had met with a sales rep from Docu,
at work, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Sales are through the roof. We can't sell enough of our software." I was like, "Okay,
Say no more.
yeah, thank you." Buy
Hell
calls.
yeah.
I mean, he didn't say anything
Yeah.
nuts, but he said like, he's like, "Dude, we're blowing sales out of the water." To me, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna buy calls. Thank you," and that was it. And obviously, he didn't know that, and I didn't mention that to him. But like, to me, I take 1 + 1 = 2. So unless you know something like that, or you've worked with the software and you know it's selling like hotcakes,
Yeah.
then that's the kind of thing you put together. And one thing that a lot of people like sometimes don't really think about doing is, and from a DD perspective, for example, PLTR, there was a bunch of companies that were hiring employees that specifically in the roles and responsibilities and qualifications section, it stated that if they had experience with software that only PLTR develops, Foundry. So if these companies are hiring people with experience for Foundry and PLTR is the only company that sells the Foundry software, that means that PLTR has landed more contracts,
Yeah.
right? Easy DD, but it's just stuff like that.
Do you
But if
think
you don't know that
that's?
stuff, go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. You just made me think. I wonder if we've been seeing a lot of these. So we saw retail pumping. I think a lot of, or at least holding up a lot of these like favorites like that one, like Fubo. What was the song you were just talking about?
PLTR.
PLTR. I'm curious to see if I don't know. I just I have this like gut feeling. I don't like just that's not analysis, but like I just have this feeling that there's I don't know, like we have every earnings season, dude. It's a catalyst for something. You know what I mean? And like I feel like in every investor's mind, I think they know there's downside. So with every buy, there's just like with every whatever it took to buy, it's gonna be really
Right.
they're gonna sell even quicker. Because like everybody is talking about it. I don't think I know anybody who's not acknowledged the fact that we could possibly pull back. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't play off of hunches, but
So are
it's a
you
feeling.
are you saying like those stocks are more apt to falling? Is that kind of where you're going with
No,
with,
not
like the
necessarily.
comments?
Like those stocks are falling because people or maybe even institution market makers let that rally happen and they pull out, and now like it's just an easy short. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's a good point though. That's a good point. But I think one thing we should look at too when we think about something like that, and I don't have the number in front of me. I'll have to go to the Discord and get the bot to do it. Is so PLTR for a lot of people on live who might not be familiar with it. PLTR was a direct listing. So when something is a direct listing, it almost doesn't have a support when it's publicly traded. And here's what I mean by that. So if a company goes public through JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, whatever, right, a big bank,
Mhm.
whenever it goes on the market and let's say it tops for 2 or 3 days and then dumps, typically there's going to be a floor where it's going to sit at.
Yeah.
If it dumps, it's going to stop somewhere, and that is typically around the price that the bank paid per share for, right? The
Interesting.
bank paid per share for different than what the day it IPO'd for. Okay.
Right.
Now
yeah. That's why you
with
get those
direct
dumpage.
exactly with direct listings, that doesn't exist. There is no floor, so a stock can just continue to fall, right? And obviously within a fair realm of saying, hey, this is its valuation, this is the low end, it's probably not going to go any further than that. But there's no institution holding it. What I'm thinking is exactly what Georgie said. We are the support for PLTR. If you
That's
look
what I
up
was
the
gonna say.
PLTR,
Yeah, that
if you
is
look up
hella true.
if you look up the PLTR float, okay, institutional ownership is only 17%. So the bulk of ownership in PLTR is retail. There you go. There's the answer. 17% of institutions only own PLTR. And let's see what Fubo is because I'm curious now. The insider ownership is only 1.3% for PLTR, 17.4 for institutional. Okay, so Fubo has a larger institutional holding,
Yeah.
31%. So
PLTR
it
does.
is likely to be more supported, a bit more supported than PLTR. Oh my God, dude, PLTR's float is massive.
Yeah, they got a big float.
Wow. But yeah. So those are always things to think about when you see something that. So here's another thing to think about, guys.
Yes.
Coin was not an IPO.
Right.
Coin was a direct listing.
Yeah, it was a direct listing.
So
Robinhood is you have public access, or what is it? What is it called? Direct access.
direct access,
So-
but it's still technically an IPO because it's going through a bank.
I love money, but I refuse. I will short that. I will short the hood.
Dude,
That's-
here's the thing, Garrett, I want to short it. I want to, but I'm not going to.
I'm only gonna short it where it's available. I'm not gonna short it because I feel like it. But if it ever just rips into affinity, and then I swear to God, if it makes a double top, hiya, I'm coming in.
Just remember, Citadel's the one that's propping that thing up, bro.
We gotta get bigger than Citadel, my guy. We gotta get bigger than that.
Georgie, make some phone calls.
We need some phone calls, mate. Let's get it.
I'm gonna invest in.
I don't know.
I
Let's just
honestly-
keep
I
buying
don't-
shares. Let's just find a way to buy into Citadel, and then just eventually, well, I don't know. That's not gonna work that way, but
if Webull would go, I'm trying to remember who Webull's main investor
Baba.
is, but I think is it Baba?
Baba owns them. I'm pretty sure Webull is owned by Baba.
I thought it was.
Oh, we were a Chinese company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were owned by somebody else. You're probably right. It's probably Baba.
I have to double
shit.
check on that, but
Then why did? Okay. Yeah, no, you're probably right.
nah, that's what I'm saying.
Is what?
No, someone said Robinhood bigger than Citadel. I was like, no.
No.
I need to get bigger than Citadel so I can short Robinhood.
But if Webull were to go public as its own platform, I would long Webull. 10 times the platform. Even though they do sell order flow to Citadel, they're not as scummy as Robinhood.
If you have a public investor app like that, it's going to that has no way of making money, like other than like maybe, and if it doesn't charge you for,
Level
commission.
2 and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, even Robinhood charges for level 2, but I mean, your data's gonna get sold. This is the stock market here.
No, 100%. Guys, I just got an alert on AEI. $32 million in dilution. It hit AEI today at $2.12. So expect AEI to gap down.
Damn. How much in dilute? Oh, they're making but they have a small float, right?
But they've been apparently this is the second dilution they've had. So let me look up the float and just
I swear to God, Tesla has to. Dude, Elon owns this company. He's somewhere in this company. Why does it say Tesla?
the float 6.8 million. So it's funny, George. You remember when we were trading this thing and the float was 700,000?
You know, today it hits like all-time low. Today, not all-time.
Today?
Low. Yeah.
All time low.
Who did?
Yeah, I think tomorrow AEI. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna fall more. Based off that alert I just got for dilution, it's gonna fall more tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna see that back down to $2.50. You think?
Yeah, it'll go to
Two
two
bucks.
something. Yeah, but it'll probably gap.
Yeah.
It'll probably gap down.
Dude, what if this? Okay, so they do like futuristic integrated homes, right? Where all technology is like, dude, I don't know, man. This might be one of those big. It might be one of those big ones, dude. I don't
Here's
know.
the thing,
when I
though,
envision the
so-
future, bro, like I don't know. Go ahead.
Fang did some crazy DD on this thing.
Yeah.
I had done some DD and I found out it was connected to Tesla, right? And then Fang like took it to a whole nother level. And we realized that this company was always public, but they were public under a different ticker name, and they took their shares private and then restructured the company and restructured their shares
Wow.
and went public again.
Wow.
They used to trade around like $2 or like $1, but they also trade on. It's an Asian market, and I don't know if it's the one in China or the one in Singapore.
I think it was.
But they is it Singapore? They trade there, and we did a market cap valuation. Like I just did a
Yeah.
quick calculation for it, and they were overvalued on our stock exchange compared to what they were trading at in Singapore.
Yeah.
And they had been trading on that market for a while, for years. So it's possible that there's some connection there, but I just there's a lot of mystery behind the company, man. Like the CEO has an interesting background. He's like been a CEO of like multiple companies, and he's like spun some stuff off.
12 companies.
But go ahead, Georgie.
12 companies.
Yeah,
Dude, why does it sound like someone just put you in a box?
it's me. I need to switch headphones. My headphone just died. Give me 1 second.
No, yeah. Is the CEO of 12 companies, not just a.
Yes, the CEO of 12 companies, correct? Yeah. And he had it really. It was really interesting. But I think it's just a fun speculative play is the way I look at it. You know.
Yeah.
Buy and hold, to be honest, for now.
Yeah. You just buy a couple shares, hold on to it. Like
A couple of shares, man. Just
no, not like when I mean a couple, like like 100, 200 or 300, something small.
Yeah.
Buy like 100, 200, maybe 300 shares, hold on to it. And Georgie and I have played this thing multiple times. I know Garrett, you've played it with us multiple times. I sell into pops, wait for it to drop by a little bit more.
Pop it and drop it.
Accumulate, yeah. We accumulate in the downside.
Exactly.
I'd take it for the long term. I'll add it to the Max R profile. That's what I named my long term portfolio.
Max R portfolio.
Yeah.
I like
How many
it.
shares do you have? How many shares do you have?
Of Max R. I have a lot of shares, man. I have like 700. I have like 700 plus right now.
Say it and ask me any question and they will answer.
Yeah. I have I have about 769 shares. I had 770 and I sold one because I thought it was funny. But I'm not.
Garrett, is Tesla in a bilateral pattern for you on the daily?
Let me go. Yeah. Well, okay. So I've had several people look at it several different ways. I've been holding Max R, by the way, since last year.
Let me show you what I see real quick on it, and let me post it in the chat because I just see a ginormous. So I have the trend from like COVID lows, and it perfectly is sitting on top of that trend line. And then I have another trend line from the top forming a triangle with it. Here, let me post it in the chat.
I'm drawing all the different trend lines that I've seen people draw right now.
This time.
Yeah, it's in live trading.
I'm gonna show you one. I've drawn it like when I was speaking with Moba and Sean last time.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna post it in live trading, Georgie?
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah.
I think I might be a little. If we fall, I think I'm ahead of the. I think I'm ahead of the curb on the fall right now. I mean, yeah, because if you look at my stream right now, I've had this linear support because now I see the consolidation here, right?
Yeah.
But I also had, and this is going off of this high, and this is where things can get murky, I guess, with technical analysis, because I can see both. I can see exactly. But the thing is you have this top resistance with the potential
corrections that happened here. I don't like that. I don't like to chart like that. But this is a resistance line that I've seen, and people are running it off the top. I don't like that. That usually the first spike, right, needs to hit resistance, and that's why I don't agree with that resistance line. So I stick with my original one, which has this on top.
You have it riding the top of the line.
Yeah, and that's why it won't break. That's why it keeps. And if anything, it actually used a previous support to bounce off of, but also draw this line here. So check this out. So right there, right where we gap down.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 bounces off of here. If anything, you have a smaller time frame. Ooh, get off my nose. There. So you have like more of a smaller, like I could see that, where I just don't agree that runs off the top like that. But regardless, I mean, like you have this, it's super duper tight. I think the rest of the week has a lot to do with where Tesla goes. So.
I agree with you there. Georgie, I like your setup. I like your chart as well. And that's the thing, guys, too. Like, charting can be a bit subjective, right? And everybody can view it differently. The one thing that, so I see where you're going with it, Garrett, and I see where Georgie's going with it. The one thing that does worry me is if you look at my chart, and I think you can see it a little bit more evident there because I have a lot more moving averages on mine. They're drastically lower highs, but there's no lower low yet. If we get a lower low, then I'm bearish.
Got you. Yeah.
And my lower low would need to be in the 500s, 535. If I get a 535 move on Tesla, I wouldn't be long Tesla yet for a little while until I see a correction past that last lower high. So go ahead.
How long do you think Tesla will hold 535?
Not very long, Georgie. I think if it hit 535, I think it would get back to the 500s and hover there. I think it would hold the 500s. I don't think it would lose the 500s.
I will tell you, if Tesla hit 535, you got 10 minutes to see Tesla back over 560.
Tesla is operating at record low volume. I'll also say that. Now, you have less shares, I guess. But as far now, I wouldn't say record low because you have when it used to trade down at $5. I can't believe $5. Ridiculous.
Bro, I had 100 shares of Tesla, or not 100. I had 10 shares of Tesla pre-split.
When you sold up, yeah.
I know.
Anyway, enough pain. So this one, everything speaks bearishly to me at the moment. The whole ribbon on the daily don't lie, and if it does, like, it's very very rare. Right now, I mean, you could play out like this, where it just buyers don't let it go. But and I mean, like, look at Tesla. Look at how much money they make. Look how they're able to make money out of thin air and stay afloat. And
here's my.
Go ahead. You're a Tesla guy.
Sorry, Gary.
No.
Here's my thing. And I talked to Georgie about this the other day. For anybody who's on live and listening, service revenue is huge. Service revenue is super bullish by sell-side analysts, by anybody doing valuation on stocks. Tesla has been slowly unwinding this news and saying, hey, in the Netherlands, we're going to allow other car companies to use our charging stations. In the US, we're going to allow other car companies to use our charging stations. The soon as they start doing that, and you got to think, there's not a lot of Ford and Chevy and whoever the hell else is making electric vehicles, a lot of their charging stations. So they're going to have to use Teslas. Now, either they're going to leave that up to the public, and the public's going to have to essentially subscribe to Tesla's charging stations as a non-Tesla owner, right? You're not a Tesla owner, but you're going to use Tesla's charging stations, or you're going to be able to land a deal through Ford that Ford will negotiate with Tesla for Ford car owners to be able to use their charging stations. Long term, I'm super bullish on Tesla for that reason. They are creating subscription based models. No other vehicle company,
Subscription,
up until the past 2 or 3 years has ever had a true subscription based model. Now there has been subscription based leasing where you pay a monthly fee and you get the Volvo with the insurance and it comes with the gas card and tires and so on.
Yeah.
But there's not been this extent of it.
Right.
So keep that in mind for the people watching and listening on live, is that long term, really bullish on Tesla. Nobody has worked this type of ordeal out just yet. And I think it's going to be a big revenue generator for them.
Let me tell you one thing. When Tesla is going to offer this, Tesla is not, it's offering, anyway, it's already offering this, but you get to compare the, like, let's say, as a driver point of view, not as an investor. You want something quick and fast. So far, Tesla charging station, kind of the fastest one.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
This is what drive you as a human being, to be honest, not as an investor or something. You're gonna go for sure for Tesla to charge fast and carry on.
Yep.
So that's what makes me think in my mind Tesla will have a great future on that sector, charging sector.
100%. And they're also working towards advancements in batteries, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of that research is being done out of their, Nevada?
Yeah, ABML, that
Yep.
land grant not too far away from where, was just approved today. And I have a feeling. I have a feeling about that thing. I have a feeling.
Just looking at it today, maybe I'm Alma.
I was watching it. Huh?
Yeah, I put some alerts. I want to get in, but I want it cheaper.
You want cheaper? I bought
Yes,
some.
not like-
I bought a little bit today, so if it's down below $2, I'll buy like.
Do we know when it's supposed to be listed on the NASDAQ soon, right, Garrett?
Yeah,
Do we know when that is?
They weren't really. I didn't see the specific news on when that would be, but.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're gonna skedaddle out of Tesla territory. What if it? What? Twitter.
Twitter at the weekly.
Yeah, well, let me do Square really quick. It's been a hot demanded. So 15-minute guys. I had to kind of go down, do well, you should always do multiple time frame analysis, but here on the 15-minute, got like basically a inverted cup and handle. You've got that little symmetrical triangle here. This one riding on that support at the moment. I imagine that anywhere below, you could say 245, I guess, right on the dot. But more importantly, we're in this rising channel here, and we've seen quite the recovery moving all the way from 225.50, running all the way to almost 270 on Square. Now back at that support, back at that daily whole ribbon indicator. And today, barely, you did get that decent bounce off of a support. You're always going to bounce. But so going into tomorrow, that symmetrical triangle that I talked about, you'd obviously want to see that it is bilateral, but you'd want to see it move to the upside. And hopefully, if anything, maybe even trade or taper down. So I don't like to take major companies short at support. You'll get caught in a bounce. So as long as we get a clean break, you may see room down to 231, but also remember that there is earnings that could, if let's see, what did I say? Is PayPal on? What do we have Thursday? I know we have some type of payment company. Is Square reporting this week? Do you know? PayPal. So PayPal's reporting on Wednesday. If PayPal does well, we could see sympathy from Square. And that's the thing. And I'm trying to make like this really clear. I could try my hardest to do tech, and I see well respected channels. That doesn't mean earnings won't respect that. but I can have a bias, but I don't know what these reports are going to say. And I do know that last quarter and the quarter before that and the quarter before that, that when I tried to play things up, they went down right before like this week, like essentially. Like it was not fun learning to trade earnings, because it was usually you either ran up to earnings and then just dumped no matter what because earnings was already priced in, which is I do believe happened to quite a few stocks. But regardless, I can't like Apple. I knew they were going to fall. I mean, it just the setup. Sometimes the chart sets up the news, and it doesn't matter what they do. They could, they could have some type of like chemical compound mixer that makes a vaccine on command and shoots you in your through your iPhone, and it would still drop on earnings. Like I don't know why, but like that's just what they do. Unless they announce a split and then it rips. But other than that, Apple goes down. I think somebody in my comments on TikTok was like, "Do you think Apple's going to go up on earnings?" And I was like, "No." But yeah, guys. I mean, like, I see a well-respected channel here on Square. I see a really strong support at 245. Anywhere below 245, I think things get a little bit messy for Square. But again, you have PayPal earnings coming, so that could do a lot of damage as well. My recommendation is to set an alert somewhere around 248.25. If you start pushing down out of that 245 level's coming next, and you can see right here, I'm going to mark my chart, this little zone here. And that's it's important to remember that it's not the break of like a number, but often the break of a zone. And so the zone between basically 248 and 245 is where we're gonna see the most possibility for a bounce. But if we can get past that level to the downside, I think a clean break to obviously around 240 is more than likely. Which I usually take things to their psychological numbers. Especially with weeklies, I don't hang on to those because you're gonna get whacked. All right. We had UPS. Actually, I pulled up that chart just a second ago, and if you couldn't see what's happening there, look at the daily. I do like the massive gap. I love gaps, but the one thing I don't love, and I do love because I can short it, not with for real short it, but like with puts. But check out this 4-hour chart here. So big old channel here for UPS. Dropping here on earnings. We were above this channel, heavily consolidated, and I want to reiterate myself. I said this a couple months ago because of Apple. And when a stock just sits up at a level 214.35, all that, how many? I mean, I don't even know how many days that we sat up there. Days, like weeks, we sat up above on that channel, and so like immediately on earnings, guys, we pretty much dump. Not my problem. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on a second. Oh. All right. Any thoughts on Ford? Check that out, my boy. Wait, man's really stole the TSM logo? Did we steal the TSM logo? Hold on.
Yes,
what the fuck?
What the hell is TSM?
I don't know. What the fuck?
What is that?
I don't know, dude. I've never seen this logo before in my life. You just ruined my life, Rob. Oh.
It's a professional esports organization. Yeah, we didn't. That wasn't intentional, guys. I literally came up with the that little piece of the logo like off top of mine. So
yeah,
we don't play video games. I don't anyway. So
I've never seen that logo, and if anything, there's a T-shirt company down here. What is it? Southern Tide. Check this out. Look at. I think it's the logo. Unless no, that's not it.
It's just
that's a fish. Never mind. It's like a
Are
southern.
you thinking of? I know the brand you're thinking of. It's
I don't want to type SS because then it's gonna get racist. There it is. Okay, yeah, there's a racist.
Simply Southern. Yeah.
Simply Southern. Yeah, somebody showed me the Simply Southern. I was like, well, son of a bitch. What else do you do with SS without getting too close to that?
Yeah, let's not go there.
We tried to really. I'm just letting people know. Thank you, Rob. Yo, man, that's hilarious. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a gamer, so I wouldn't have ever. I've never heard of. Don't even know who they are. So didn't take it from there. Sorry.
That's so fun. No, I'm not. I'm just laughing, dude, because that's so funny, man. Like, I mean, there's no way, dude. We literally were in basically shut. We were pandemicked in. On the phone, like every day after hours, like talking. We had a platypus. We had a platypus as our logo at one point, y'all. Y'all don't even know about this platypus. What did we call him? It was like Stacky the Stackopus, or I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Something like that.
I was on pandemic. It was just that whole. I was on it. I was on the pandemic. It was a whole drug. Anyway, so for UPS, I'm not sure. We did look at the earnings. I mean, they fell really hard back down to support on earnings. Now here's where things get interesting for UPS. It bounced off of a gap. So there's a gap starting at 190 or at 189. Looks like 189.65 all the way down to one. Did I get that right? Yeah, okay, so basically starting a $10 gap. There's a $10 gap on UPS right now. And not only that, the 200-day EMA is at 181.71. I actually am going to write this down right now on my chart as a potential short play for tomorrow. Because we roasted coin today for a really nice short for the same exact reason. So I'm writing UPS, and I'll look for some contracts tonight maybe. But I like that for a potential gap fill. Yeah, that looks good. RSI, you could still see some more room to the downside. That's a big drop, but 181 is definitely in the cards. I would suspect we're going to see a little bit more of a bounce. A little bit more consolidation, but we did get a bounce from 190 all the way back up to 196. So there's a $6 bounce. So we'll be watching that one tomorrow. I think anywhere around 200 we could see a rejection if this does bounce hard enough, and if the market conditions don't allow for it to hold up, then we could see that gap get filled to the downside. But at the same time, if you go look at the daily, we have now a massive gap starting at 198.29. So I said 200, but right around there, and that gap gets filled all the way to 209. Obviously, that's not going to happen in a day. You'll fill a gap faster to the downside than you will the upside, as far as my experience has gone. I don't know about you, Atlas, but anyway.
Sorry, I was responding to someone in the chat. You talking about the UPS gap?
Yeah, I was just saying usually you can fill a gap to the downside faster than the upside. You know, like usually. Those
I
gaps
think
will
if we
get
break that low right there.
Yeah, that 190.
Oh, bro.
That's a $10 gap. That's
I
juicy.
want to be right there with
That's
like.
juicy.
Yeah, I want to be right there with just a ton of puts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to 100 lot that, man.
Yeah. But here's the thing: halfway into that gap, it's gonna reject like a mofo.
I mean, we could go over so the shares dropped to a 3-month low over the concerns of slowing pandemic-induced e-commerce boom. The EPS.
That's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons Amazon pulled back so hard today.
Interesting. Yeah. So EPS was $3.06 versus the $2.75 estimate. Revenue was $23 billion, 14.5% year over year. But I mean, that's a pretty opinionated bet to cause the stock to drop that low. I don't think. I mean, shipping and e-commerce is an integral part of. I mean, yeah, I guess everyday shoppers
You know, that's going to account for a lot, but I don't know. I just don't feel like with everything that we have in place now, that shipping is like they're doomed or anything like that. But I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. Can't post anything in the chat. Tesla is the Apple of cars. Yeah. Dim said it.
Hey, Sam wanted to see Roku when you got a chance.
Yuck.
Not Nick.
No, Nick? Oh, I thought it was Sam wanted to see Roku.
Nick.
Nick is ignoring you.
You're naked.
Tesla is a software company. They make cars. Roku. Oh, okay. I see it now. My bad, man.
If you see Nick, I take it to you.
Hey, Georgie, don't be. Georgie's trying to divide us, bro.
I would.
Bitcoin right now is rallying. Looks like it's gonna go build. What? Check this out. Somebody just asked me about Bitcoin. I'll look at Roku. Bitcoin's trading right now. It's got an ascending triangle. Maybe watch for one more pullback to 380. Or hold on one second. 388.20. 388 flat maybe. If it can't, it might go wick up to 40. I have a price target right now of 44K. I know I've had some people tell me I'm smoking crack, but we're holding bullish with decent volume, pushing the 200-day EMA. I think 41.5 is reasonable for that first target. But I think that buyers or people are going to get excited about this run. And then I think the market, so Bitcoin's going to run up and test. People are going to get excited about Bitcoin and stuff. And I think the market may end up seeing a correction after earnings, which would then have that price target that everybody's been talking about, that 26K, finally met, which would really, really suck. And that's just wild thoughts there. So please take that with a grain of salt. That's just me and my charts. So sometimes shit gets goofy, but that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. I think we could see 44, maybe even if we're just being modest, 43.50. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. Anyway, so Roku's chart, big. First of all, what a ridiculous run out of that bull flag. So, I mean, you had a run starting at 389 all the way up to almost basically 500. You had that 490 hit today. And Roku was decent at the bell for a pop, but then as you guys saw with everything else, pulled back. Hourly here is showing a bit of a bear flag. You did have high volume on the pullback today. It is going to be really, really important. I think it's just to make it clear, above 468 is where I would start paying attention to a potential rebound. But that was a really, really sharp pullback that you got here on Roku. And if you go look at the daily, that's a pretty bearish candle. I would say so. At least for a little bit more of a pullback to around 445. That's where that whole ribbon indicator level is, as well as a fake breakout level that we had at 445, where we ended up running to 465 and then pulling back really heavy. So there is the potential there that we pull back, and again, the climate of the market could have a lot to do with that. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one, Atlas? Looking at the wicks and everything on this one. I mean,
Sorry, I got
You're
into
good,
a
dude.
little bit of conspiracy. I'm not gonna dig into it on YouTube, but whenever you get a chance, go look at the live trading chat.
All I see is Nick's short shorts.
Okay, so
I see.
you see it?
What is this, male fashion advice?
Mm-hmm.
This is where I belong. I need it.
No, but read the commentary from Paper Hands. You're gonna hate this, but there is a subreddit called, and then read the rest from there.
Okay.
I am not a fashionista at all. Okay, so, but
I'm tagging you in the message so you can see it.
are you fucking hit?
I mean, bro, if you want to hide something in plain sight, not a bad idea. I'm on here. I can't even find it, so I don't even know where. Like I'm digging through it trying to actually find it.
I'm a Reddit junkie. Let me see what I can find. Hold on a second.
Yo, paper hands. Where exactly is it, bro? Like I'm in the section. I just don't know where it's at.
Hold
Which
on.
thread is it?
Go to top, and then go to new. If you ever want to go viral on Reddit, that's how you do it. By the way, anybody wondering, you just go to top and new and comment. Just say some shit. That's what I think. I have around. I have an ass of karma. Good karma, I hope. Let's see. Maybe play that video. Wait, hold on. Is it the cheap boot video? Look, it says $30 versus I don't know, maybe not. I'm not about to play it though. Yeah, no, it's not. I don't know. We'll look for that another time though. You can dig into it, but I'll take a look. Yeah. Anyway, so with Roku, man, it looks like a little bit of a bear flag. You did bounce up and retest that level of 460, which is that psychological level. So you're going to want to see a climb up above the 20-day EMA, my level 463.75, and then the potential leg up to 471.36, or even 468.55 actually would be that first level. But yeah, Roku could see a bounce up there where it goes and retest, and then around there I'd watch for a potential rejection. So 463.55 with the immediate target of 468, and then secondary target of 470. Netflix back and forth. Where is it going? I don't know. Netflix. Oh, Netflix looks like it wants to dump. Look at that ugly thing. All right, so just keep it simple here. You climb above and start wick filling here anywhere above 522. You can see that was a previous bounce level, break level for Netflix. You'll have the immediate leg up to those bodies, which is 523, where if you don't have enough volume, which you don't right now, you're more than likely going to see a rejection. Now, Netflix did break that hourly downtrend, so that's cool. But if you look at the daily, that's where things become really, really clear. Netflix looks like a hot pan of garbage right now, and I believe that it goes lower, but I could be wrong. Look at those.
Hey guys,
sticks.
I'm going to have to jump off for the night. It was good chatting with everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed my presence on the live, and I will see you guys in the pre-market prep.
Oh, we did. Oh shit.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Good night, Georgie. Good night, Garrett.
All right, man. Have a good night, man.
Good night.
All right. Yeah, it's 10:17. Alrighty. So anyway, Netflix is not looking good. Pushing up low volume. I would watch for a potential entry to the downside at 414.25. Watch for the break of 413. Once you get that break there, you would want to go ahead and aim for those lows with around 505. And then of course that $5 drop to 500. And if you go look at the daily again, you'll see that your first immediate targets below you are 500 right there, and then below 500 you've got that 485. So
Whee! Set some alerts. Alrighty. I think we had ZOM. Somebody asked me about ZOM. I don't know anything about that. Zomedica? Oh my god. Apparently I was wrong. Look at that. I was right, but a long ways away. Gap filling. It's got a gap fill to 50 cents.
You remember we bought shares on Zoom ZOM around 0.20?
Yeah, I do. Didn't it? The thing ripped to like,
Yeah.
like $3.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Was.
Thank you. Yeah, so you got a little gap to fill to 50 cents. So I got UPS, I got Square. Lay it on me, all. What else? Max Insta. Oh, it doesn't mean Max. Whatever, Nick. I'm not. If I had a design, or not a designer, someone to dress me, that'd be sweet. Not that I can dress myself, but like, give me the clothes. Let's see.
What do you think about Airbnb?
I actually have them charted, I think. I do, yeah. So I have them in this little megaphone deal here. So a lot of times these can end up being bullish in some ways where right now you do have what looks to be a potential double bottom off of this support. Right now, if Airbnb can squeeze up around 143.42, I think the immediate run to 147.25, which was that base right up there that we held for quite a bit, that's likely where you'll see that first leg up. It would be hard to tell whether or not Airbnb can get some relief, but it would make sense that it could potentially start running up for earnings because people may start thinking about the possibility of Airbnb's revenue being up because of everything opening up. And so that could be represented in this earnings sheets. And so people may be looking to start going ahead and legging into positions. So this is actually pretty interesting. It's been in downtrend for quite some time. So hopefully you can see a leg up to 147.25. And then of course you'll have that immediate target of 154.50. And yeah, I mean, from there, you know, it's kind of just taking it level by level, but volume right now is the only thing relatively concerning. You saw more volume on the previous bounce. This did happen near and around earnings, but I said hopefully we can run up to earnings, but as you can see here, we dumped into earnings. So let's see what we can do here. 143 to 147.25. That's your range, I think, to the upside for tomorrow. Whoa, I don't know what roses are on, and those things are, but thank you. Those are cool. I don't know, is it money? That's so cool, thank you. That's like a cake. Okay, so Airbnb, what else we got, guys? Woo. What about UPS? Is really down after earnings? Zach, if you rewind a little bit, I actually just went over UPS. Limit order at 180 and go long. I think, yeah, once that gap gets filled, I'll go long on UPS. Sorry, guys. Lots of countries in I haven't talked about Spce. Let's go to, well, it's not really space anymore. We're more of tunneling underground now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, actually. So I have a light prediction, and it's a little, I mean, I'm not going to say a gap is what's going to suck this thing down. Obviously, Spce is going to need to see some love here relatively soon. But I would imagine that we're gonna see Space back down to $24. $24, probably another retest of that level of 26, and then more than likely you'll go and fill that gap. The gap gets filled for me at $21, 21.25 for Space, where I think Mr. Richard Branson may buy back into his own company. You'll probably see that, and then maybe they'll schedule for the next launch. So I did actually enter. They had a something where like you could just raffle or whatever online, like you just enter your name. So I did that. So I will try to go to Space. I will also bring my my 5G hotspot so I can trade with you guys. Zero gravity. Oh, I skipped Sony. I'm sorry, Robert. All the messages. If I missed your ticker, slap it back in there in the back of my head too. Sorry, I apologize. My buddy lost 6K with call on a video from unusual activity 2 weeks ago. Well, man, that's why you don't go into anything blind. Just because somebody else buys calls, I don't do that. Everybody in the Discord can tell you, I shorted Bidu when it was 100% bullish and flow, and I still won. I hit my 175 target and bounced right back up. They actually, all of us could have made money if they held, and I made money. But let's see, what are my thoughts on APPS? All right, we'll get Sony here and then we'll do that one. So with Space, watch Space above 3172 or above that horizontal line, and then below 2736 with the potential leg down. Oh, I already have one. Potential leg down to $24. So anyway, thank you.
Why Sony is like this? Gap up, gap down, gap
Sony?
up, gap down. Yeah.
I think mostly like institution. I think it's just insiders. Like dude, this thing, it is a beauty to swing trade. I will tell you that, because it just, okay, so it moves at night, right? Like if you look at it, it looks like Sony only has after hours movement, right? Like that's almost how it looks, and like all the big moves happen in after hours. And if you look at my chart, it's not that hard to kind of reel in here. Like I would say, I would maybe go crazy on it, and I don't know how the premiums are now. I haven't played Sony in a long time. But more than likely, Sony's going back down. It looks like maybe back down into the 88.25 range. This one, if it doesn't hold support, let me make that clear. Right now, I would say support. Your nearest support is around 91.75, so that's probably your closest bet, and that could take some time to get there. And then, depending on the time that it takes to get there, you could see this thing, smeltering all the way down to 84.75. But that's only if this extends itself. You do have earnings on August 4th, which would just do whatever it wants. Sony could end up gapping up and pushing out, but it has, for the most part, my rule of thumb is three taps off of resistance, and usually you'll go and hit your low. This will be our third tap off of support. From here it's just going to be a matter of evaluating. But my analysis now I would likely say that Sony is going to move to the downside. But earnings could obviously negate that. What screener does? Wait, what? I do swing trade, yes. If you want me to answer those, just slide in there. Okay, alrighty. So we got Sony down. That one's pretty. I'm gonna set an alert on that one as well. So if I see you on the chat, I will let you know. All right. So we have APPS. How can you get my indicators? Just the same. Oh, you're on my TikTok live.
Scott, do you want to explain to me what roses are? What are those? What does it mean? Yeah, they're like, it's like a digital rose or something, and some cake. I got some digital cake too.
You're invited for birthday. I bring.
Is it romantic though? Because the roses came first. I'm not trying to be assumptive. I'm not trying to be assumptive here, but you know.
No, it's a date.
It's a date.
With roses on the table.
Yeah, I actually went over that. If you go on the YouTube right now, dude, I literally you don't even have to watch me talk right now. You can literally go look at the first part of the video, and I literally show you the ticker and everything, or the screener and everything. So Scott, these indicators that I have, just look over here to the right. You always want to have volume. Volume's number one. Pivot point strategies are good. In fact, I'm really glad that I put this on. 9750, that's the level for Sony. Below 9750, Sony goes back down into the 80s. Sony holds that level and bounces off. Maybe we see it back moving to the upside depending on how earnings goes. But pivot points and all of these, all you have to do, also before you sign up for TradingView, guys, we're partnered as of today with TradingView. I'm working on the post right now. A lot going on and a ton of one-on-ones. So, but I'm working on the post, and we'll have a discount out for you guys if you want to actually use or upgrade on TradingView. It's worth it in my opinion. I love TradingView. I mean, it's one of my favorite platforms to chart on, and I just like the fact that I can share my ideas and connect them on YouTube and all that other good stuff. So, but regardless, let's see here. So you're just gonna go to indicators, and you're gonna type in. So the whole EMAs. I use the EMAs, and I use they have the triple and the double, and this one. I've compared them. I like this one here. That's just me. You guys can kind of explore and see what works for you. You could throw up that triple EMA if you want to. Let's see, where is that at? I don't know. I'm not even. I don't even see it. Anyway. So my EMAs, my 9 HMA, all of those can just be typed in here. RSI, whole ribbon indicator, and stochastic RSI. Right now I have as favorited. So TTM squeeze, MACD, and RSI right there. So. Earnings coming up on Zom. Yeah, man, I just went over Zom. Zom's going to likely go to fill that gap to 50 cents. I don't know. You're here, man. What's up? Welcome.
Someone asked about Neo.
Yeah, see that. I want to make sure SE and DE. And APPS too. I gotta get APPS. Oops. I don't even spell apples correctly in the grocery store anymore. I still can't do it. There we go. Aha. Aha. Eureka. Shit.
Why you don't download the TradingView software?
I have it. I don't like it. It's weird, dude. It's weird. It's different.
What?
I don't know. It just weirds me
It's
out. It just feels different. I don't know why. It just feels so different. I may re-download it. I have it though. I do have it. You know why I don't like? You know why I don't use it? I just remember why I don't use it, because I would make videos. One of the reasons I stopped making videos for a while is I really got pissed, and like I try not to be emotional about stuff, but like
I made a I think it was like a 15-minute video on TraderView, and like just dived in on this ticker, and as soon as I went to go put upload, it just went away. It was just gone. Nothing, nothing to even reach for, like look for. It was gone. And then I think I did it 2 days later, and I was like, nope, not doing that. I put out too much content for this, and when I don't script like ever. Like I look at the chart, I chart it, I get like what I need to say, and trust me, there's a lot of takes and a whole lot of fuck, like that happens like in between where I'm like,
Other videos.
oh dude, I one time almost posted one because it made me laugh because I literally was like, I mean, I'm a human being, but I was like, fuck, like I literally had done the whole video, and I think at the end of it I was like, all right everybody, like make sure I'll catch you in the next video. And I was like, what? Like, it's like I just like said something really off at the end, and I just like was like, fuck, like I just lost it. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. But I was just frustrated. It was tired. I used to stay up till like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I used to put out like 10 videos a day.
You know what? What's good about this? Just to be natural. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's alright. So on APPS here, I like this right here. So you did break what looks to be a downtrend. This is really, really choppy here, but it is showing me a little bit of respect here. There it is. But anyway, so 80.50 is where you ended up rejecting there, but you ended up making almost like this wedge setup there. So right now you're consolidating. It looks like a falling wedge. It looks to me that you're going to see 55. So you may see one tap of 55. You may even consolidate further to 53.50, but doesn't look like it. It does look like it potentially could see a reversal, but it using a double bottom off of the 53.35, 53.50 level. So APPS kind of building that reversal pattern here. That's what it looks like at least. Why is Shiba backwards? Are you upside down? What is it? I don't know.
Someone asked earlier about PNGO. I don't know if he's in Discord. He can DM me, ask him a question about it.
Oh, bingo? Yeah, if you're in the Discord, go DM Georgie. He's the bingo man. Sounds kind of like a thriller.
Yeah. Love the company. I love the stock.
I love it. Yikes. I don't know if I like that setup. No, that's not very clean. I don't want to sit here and... There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. SC looks like it's about to go down. It did hold a little gap here. So you may bounce. That was a big bounce off 255 for SC. A lot of bulls on SC limited. If I'm not mistaken, SC are they in China? Are they out of China, or are they do... Somebody help me out on this one. I actually used to play them. I know it's in the Asian markets. Look at my ideas going back on, look at this.
Good morning, and welcome back to another video with Simple Stacks Investments.
I sounded tired. I posted that November 14th, 2020. And now it was trading at 181. Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, so this one looks like it's at support now. It's got a hold support. So if you go take a peek down here at the hourly, actually kind of looks like square in a way, where you have that rounded top and you almost have that little cup and inverted cup and handle here. So Watch for the re-break of 260 for a potential re-entry to the downside. It does look like it might end up bouncing or consolidating here, so don't sleep on a potential retest around 275. But other than that, SC looks like it is really heavily consolidated and may end up seeing a pullback relatively soon. It's made a good run though. DE. Oof. That's a hot crock of garbage. What's up?
Something just caught my eyes.
On DE?
No, on cat. Just finished the
Yeah. Poor cat. Alright, well, whatever is happening at 256, DE can't break it. It's operating on really, really low volume. The momentum indicator is showing that it's flipped momentum, but if you look down here, it's showing very little strength. That I mean, and this is the thing. I don't like when companies deadpan. Now I do like consolidation, and it does look like volume is rising, but the candles that we're seeing here are rather alarming. Again, earnings is on July. Wait, what? July 28th. Is that right? Hold on a second. Well, I don't see it. I really don't feel like cruising through 400 companies, but we'll see if that's true. But anyway, if it can hold the 250 or break past, I would just make it simple for yourself. 258, or even 260, with the potential target of 267 at the most, with the pop to the upside. Anywhere above that, I would be very, very careful. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on UPS at the moment. Yeah, volume is why I don't like it. I wouldn't take the trade unless volume picked up and showed a little bit more strength. So it's 5:30 a.m. You're in East Asia right now, Zach, or something? Where is that? 5:30. Where in the world would you be? I think Pocket Change. That's what Pocket Change was saying.
It's 3:40 here in the UK.
3:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go night night?
Yeah, because I need to go to the airport in a few, like in half an hour, 1 hour.
What? Georgie, where are you going?
No, I'm just going to give some paper for one to give it to my wife. She has a flight in the morning.
Be safe. Yeesh. Okay. Alright, let's finish this up, guys. So D sitting at that brick wall there. 358. I'm gonna set a little alert there. Just pay attention to the volume. There's no volume there, so it could very easily reject anywhere below 245. This thing's going back down to support.
Okay. Do you see a falling wedge on cat?
Is that what you're thinking? Or what do you see? What time frame?
Yes, exactly. I've posted it in the live trading or at the daily. Yeah.
This is pre-market movement, so you can move that down.
Yeah. Exactly. This is what I did.
Yeah, it's not too late for a fake out, but it does look good. It could go see. So rule of thumb for me is I usually like to see one more bounce. So it could even go to see one more low, which would be around 196.36. But I don't think this is well. No, yeah. So yeah, I could go see one more bounce. I would like to see it above 212.33. 212.33, and then the 214 break, yeah. China FUD, right? I think that's what's causing this one. Are they out of China, if I'm not mistaken? The headquarters is, that's right.
I don't know.
That's right. SE operates in East Asia, so they're free of the China FUD. So it does look like it's had a good run though, and it might need a little pullback. So that might be why you're seeing that consolidation reversal pattern. So cool. Yeah, no problem. Pocket change though. I did not cover Snap. I'll look at that now. Whose name is Arian on Discord? And did you just DM me? I want to talk to you about your profile picture. You need to tell me what. I'll post it in live trading. It's kind of disturbing.
Go delete that.
Oh my god. Oh boy. Yeah, meet some cool people up there, you know. Alright, so let's look at Snap. Snap had good earnings. Usually on these big pops with earnings, you can see here, you know, what comes up must come down. This thing comes right back down and retest. So at the moment, excuse me, it's about that time. At the moment, oh yeah, Snap has a big old gap to fill, my guys. And that gap is likely going to get filled. So let's look at the hourly here. And it's not having too bad of pullbacks here. Alright, so this is what I see here for Snap. It looks like buyers want to keep it well consolidated here. Watch for further consolidation and watch for that low 71.82. Now this is where it could bounce, right? And we could end up taking the 74.35 rejection and end up taking it back down to 71.50. That would be where we would likely bounce if we were going to and not fill the gap and instead bounce off that low. Or that's where we fake people out when they think there's a flag, and this thing will pull back and go and hit that. Let me make sure I got that correct. That's a big ass gap. I don't know if it's gonna fill the whole thing, but if it, at a minimum, you know, 69, $70, so a $70 retest potentially on Snap, but you're pulling back here. After any big gap up like that, you're gonna pull back. So especially with a massive gap. Yeah, what's up?
Remember October earning, it has a gap and it still didn't fill it in October 20 last year.
You say that again? Sorry.
In October 20, Snap earning jump and there is a gap, it's still not filled. Go to October 20 in your trading view and you're gonna see it.
Okay. October 20th?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
You see up?
That's a market correction though, dude. That's like that gap gets filled on the big dip, like The biggest dip. But for real. Wow, that would pretty much be like Snapchat gets wrecked by something big. That would
You
be
want another gap?
yeah, yeah. That's too much gap, man.
20.
Just want it. I'm looking at this gap here. He's like, "What about this gap? I want blood." Yeah. If
Number
we
20 is gapped up as well from 1304 all the way to 1484.
interesting.
So, no, it's not gonna go that low.
It would if the market corrected bad, or if we had a if we got reinfected, you know, then and the vaccines, I don't even want to say out loud, but vaccines didn't work or something like that. That would trigger something probably, but all right, because then you would see a second cleansing of every restaurant. There would just be a second wipe. It'd be awful. Okay, so we got Snapchat, NVIDIA. Somebody just asked about a NVIDIA. So making lower lows on low volume. Ooh, chupapi, mañana. Ooh, oh, maybe I don't need to pull the trigger that fast. Alright, so give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure I got this NVIDIA chart right. Bless you. Sounded like a sneeze, I wasn't sure. Alright, so I think for sure NVIDIA is going to go see 182 tomorrow. But the thing is, NVIDIA has been holding this level relatively well, and it is it's decently consolidated here up against this downtrend. But the wicks are just telling me that sellers are there trying to push this down lower. So I would suspect 178.24. You know, like that's kind of what I would suspect. So and that would potentially have that double bottom form. But yeah, the NVIDIA just having the after split blues. In my opinion, so that's what happens, unfortunately. Alright, NVIDIA, Neo, did I do Neo? No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I got Neo charted for anyway, so today I charted out Neo. I think we get a bounce tomorrow, my guys. It's actually, hold on, I'm pulling the trigger a little too fast. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we could get one more bounce. That would likely take us to our break point, right? Where's our break point? That's going to be 42.65. That'll be our third test. So we get a bounce tomorrow. Maybe we see a retest, but we also have to remember the predominant pattern here is this almost crazy looking head and shoulders type ordeal that we have. So there is still the potential that we trend back down lower. My price target would be around 34.35 if we broke this support here. If that support gets broken, make sure we don't have any gaps. No, but yeah, so 34.50 if we break below there. But like I said, anywhere above 40.25, and we could see Neo push and hit 42.75 tomorrow. Apple 147 call Friday. You have those? No. You're gonna probably want to go ahead and just look to evacuate. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to tell you what to do. Maybe just watch price action in the morning off the gap up. If it gaps back up, maybe that provides just you with a little bit of an opportunity to take profit. But otherwise, it's not looking good. So, if I had $25 to invest and we're stuck on an island, what would you invest into right now to escape? That's a good ass question.
Jimmy,
Jimmy, no, not right now, not yet. Because I could be waiting on that island for a while.
I'm sorry, man. Just you're gonna stuck there for a while.
Man, what a good question. And in the climate now, I'm so hesitant to say anything. You know, like I have $25 to invest. Probably I would hold on until Friday, and I'd probably try and scalp like Facebook. Not scalp Facebook. I'd probably try and. You know what I would do? I would try and find a big cap, right, that has room to move, and I would just try to get a call and a put and split the $25 between the two.
$5, man. What
Yeah.
call for
One of
$5?
them's gotta go. just load up on both of them. So I would open a straddle, right? I would open a straddle on Facebook on Friday about an hour before the bell. And likely those contracts expire worthless. It would just sit flat. God. Honestly, I can't say to be. I couldn't say right now. I mean, if you asked me last maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, I would have said SE. I would have said Amazon. I would have said obviously you can't buy an Amazon with $20, but yeah, that's a good ass question though. Ask me that tomorrow. Come in here. I'm gonna think about that. That's a shower thought. That's the answers you only find when you're in the shower. Okay. No, Nick. Hey, listen. You know what? I'm making a new rule. Don't feel embarrassed, Nick, or anything. You're good. This is for everybody in the Discord. No more starting. And I don't want to sound like a Nazi. No more starting questions by maybe a stupid question. This is the stock market, y'all. There's no stupid questions. This shit is mad confusing at first. So I relate to you, if anything, and you don't want to put that energy out there. You don't want to say things like you're almost degrading yourself, in a way, or not even, or insulting yourself. Like, no, you're curious, and you should be proud of yourself that you're even asking questions. So I'll read that as, do mostly all stocks fill their gap, which is a badass question. It's a great question that everybody here can learn from. Yes, for the most part, most stocks will fill their gaps. I don't know. I've never gone back on Tesla and seen if there was a gap. We could go see, but for the most part, hourly gaps are going to get filled, especially if they're above you. As you can see here, we get a gap down on Apple. This happened pre-market, but Apple ends up popping up, right, and hitting and filling its gap in pre-market, which, write this down, if a stock fills its gap and rejects in pre-market, it's more than likely going to dump. That's just my experience. But so anyway, yes, lower time frame gaps will get filled. Higher time frame gaps, it gets a little bit more tricky. A lot of stocks will get really, 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 really far away, and it just be the likelihood of a gap ever getting filled becomes less and less likely. Like that being said, like this gap all the way to 223.85, forget about it. Like Tesla would have to fuck up big time. Like that's a little ass gap, and as far as I know, it didn't get filled. If Tesla makes a big fall, which if you look at the overall chart for Tesla, it's rough. It looks ugly. It definitely needs to pick. It's operate. Nobody's talking about this, but it has no volume. Like if you look at all the other times on Tesla, it has no volume, none whatsoever. Sentiment on Tesla is probably at an all-time low. Comparatively,
people used to like be all over Tesla or all over Elon, all over the stock. All now there's people who have canceled their Cybertruck orders because of Bitcoin shit. Which I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Bitcoin and Elon Musk, there was no correlate. He had nothing to do with that dump. And I know some people are going to probably harshly disagree with me, but hear me out. The stock looked like this, and that's a classic ascending wedge pattern. He bought at like 60, right? He bought here, and then like I think he sold a little bit there, and then made some comment about the, you know, it needing to be better. People just take advantage of this. This was being built all the way back from like God, January. You know, from January all the way until April. This pattern, this very bearish reversal pattern was built, and then you get a bear flag, and so anything they just take advantage of articles, just anything they can to piss you off, and if they can direct the blame at somebody else, they will.
Anything to short Tesla.
Anything to short Tesla, they will literally, they'll do anything. If you wanna, I'm live here right now. If you want to check that out. Oh my god, look at that. What is this filter? So, but anyway, so Bitcoin. Let's see here. Snaps it down. I'm new to stocks. Do you have any beginner videos or know where I should start? No, I don't. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm getting to the point now where I feel like I'm going to have to sit down and work on some type of introduction video. And I think even anybody, or I don't want to call it a course. I know courses have a bad look to them and but I mean, it would be nice to even get all of my methods and techniques down in a organized format, as well as just the beginnings on like how to get there. I would say go into the chat, you know, and if just ask away. Honestly, I answer a lot of the questions that get asked live. I really highly recommend that most people are paper trading or practicing somehow, because this is a hands-on skill that you have to do in order to make it happen and learn, because only through you know, the process of failing and winning and building certain things and coming into the market without the risk of over euphoria or even depression. A lot of people, either one, you come into the market, you get burned, that takes forever to shake off. You come into the market and you make a shit ton of money and then you blow it. That's even harder. So, but just make sure to hit the link in the bio, and we'll get to you question wise, and I'll send you some videos that I have and some books. So just DM me in the Discord. So. Snee, didn't I get Neo? Oh, I'm sorry, I totally skipped Neo, didn't I? I didn't even finish with Neo. Anyway, so Neo here does look like it's potentially making a reversal pattern. I did cover Neo, didn't I? That was like 10 minutes ago. Anyway, it looks like it's making a falling wedge. So watch for a potential bounce up to hit $42 tomorrow, potentially, and then a rejection there. That rejection would likely lead it back down, and you could see it here, but I wanted to hold the 200-day EMA. So you have 1, 2, 3 bounces, so maybe you get a bounce and a break. But again, you do have this overall bearish pattern here, and the whole rivet indicator still holding red, so it could still have a little bit more room to the downside around 34.30. So this could extend itself and get a little bit longer. So that's super funny, man. I
funny when he's snorting all those pumping dubs. That's super funny. All right, go ahead. Hit any last. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. Can I check out figs? Sounds juicy. Let's hit it. Oh, that's fig. There's figs and figs. Gotcha. There you are. And again, nope, that's a channel. Okay, so you got a little channel here. When did I chart this? May? I don't remember this. There's no way. Bruh, can you guys not say that there is like a vast majority of tickers that already have lines on them? I feel like I do this every night. I'm like, where did these lines come from? That's what happens when you're charting a lot of requests. Anyway, so right now it looks like you're at a pretty key support. You got a little bounce here today at 36.30. So 36 is that support. That was that previous breakout level as well. Below that, it looks like it kind of like Neo in a way, where it could likely see the $33 level. Now, if you go and look, it's always good to look back at your linear. So you're looking at dynamic, right? These are my dynamic resistance, my dynamic support. And here I have a linear and or linear supports. So I have these lines essentially. That's what linear means. But anyway, so the bounce right here off 36 bucks. So basically we're going to use that same bounce level as a break level. So if it ends up breaking, using the level on that dynamic support and my linear support, more than likely you're going to see this one back down at 33 if it cannot bounce. Now, the previous bounce looked kind of similar. But you do have momentum mostly to the downside, and mostly on this big spike you get high volume, which you can see shows a little bit of difference to previous trading days. So the accumulation failed, and in my opinion this one could see a lower low, especially below 35.35. So 35.35, and that would likely be confirmation, and then with that target of 33.67, at most maybe 33 or 32.50. So someone asked me about Jag. I don't know about that one. Triple top, more than likely. That thing looks like hot dog cocoa water, man. That's gross. Okay, so I'm tired. CLX. Actually, CLX is Heck Diesel's baby. He likes that one a lot, but it looks like it's forming a head and shoulders here on the 4-hour time frame. Doesn't look like it was able to break. Why does my trend look like that? Oh, that's why. I don't even know if that trend really holds any value for me. It's too choppy. All right. Yes. So I do believe that this may end up playing out as a head and shoulders. So watch, and you can see here on the hourly, the 200-day EMA gets broken right there, and that shoulder is complete at 88 or 8. That shoulder begins its completion at 181.25. The next level there is 178.50, and then that would be the neckline of the Head and Shoulders. And if the Head and Shoulders neckline breaks, like I said, 177.50, and then you would likely see a leg down to. Let's go back out to the daily. You could see you could revisit support. I mean that I don't want to go. I mean, you have earnings coming up, I guess, on August 3rd. So whatever I'm saying now could only end up playing out until that date. But it does look like it has a Head and Shoulders, and we've seen previous spikes up in volume and then a die down like that. So.
Thanks, Isaac. Isaac Reyes.
Appreciate that, man. Anyway, okay, guys. Well, 8:45 tomorrow morning. Yes, I can look at GS. No problem. No problem, Doge. Are you like the Doge? Like that? Are you that guy? It's pretty cool. You got that. Okay. Yeah, I'll look at GS real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. Hold on, let me check the Discord. Sorry, I was just reading a message. Alright, so Goldman Sachs, not looking super good. Looking like it's going to try and build a rounded top. This one, gap got filled. So now at this point, we can go pull up the hourly again. Yeah, so at this point, if you end up closing anywhere around 370.50, this one's going back down, and more than likely it's going to build like a little rounded top here. Could end up being a Head and Shoulders as well on that lower time frame. I feel like they've had so much time to actually finally break out. I don't know what the sentiment behind the banks is at the moment. Yep. Okay, so if Goldman goes back down, this will be the third 355.50, 350 mark, and I think we'll see Goldman back down in the 320 range. This isn't super bullish, but if it can break that 378 and then potentially 380 level, it could see a reclamation and a below that Head and Shoulders pattern. So heavily consolidated right now, so you're going to want to see it make a definitive break. 385 to the upside would be confirmation, and then of course to the downside, you know, be confirmation around 360, but then of course 350 350 break, and that would likely send us to the downside. So all right. Looking at banks as an inflation play might be worth looking at. No, I am the Doge. Arian, yo, you just DM'd me, right? Did you just hop on here? I know you just DM'd me. Bro, your profile picture is too much, dog. I couldn't handle it. Here's the banana. Alright, I don't see anything else. Alright, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed at 8:45 tomorrow morning. I'll be on here. If you guys want to wait a second or just watch for the Discord, I'm gonna go post the link for that tonight, so that way you guys can wait. You could leave it up on a TV, and I'll wake you up in the morning screaming. No, just kidding. But I'll wake you guys up with some coffee and stocks, and we'll get to it. I'm excited to see how we move. So. Especially after all these earnings.
I do, yes, Ash.
You going break up for everyone?
You're gonna wake if everybody leaves me up on their TV. I'll I'll like go start playing like the sounds of oceans, and then slowly progress to heavy metal music. Some like just a nice steady like instrumental progression until it's just get up and get stocked. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. I'm tired, clearly, maybe delusional. All right, Georgie. I'll see you in the morning.
Alright, take care. See you. Take care, guys.
All right. Good night, everybody.